difficult, in some cases nearly impossible, to live in today's world without electricity. Your electric utility knows that. That's why they do everything possible to keep the lights on. And when there is an outage, they work as quickly as possible to restore power. But if you're considering a backup electricity generator, it's important that you follow all the installation procedures properly. If installed incorrectly, a generator can cause serious harm or even death. Here's what you need to know.
This is a manual transfer switch, also known as a double throw safety switch. For our application, we're going to call it a manual transfer switch. On opening the door to this manual switch, we'll find that there are three sets of lugs. The utility lugs are fed through the top. The load lugs, which in our application is the home, feed at the center. The bottom set of lugs are fed from the generator. The switch has three positions. In the center position, all of the loads, utility, home, and generator, are completely isolated. No power is being fed at all. In the up position, the utility is now feeding the load, which is our home. In the down position, the generator is now feeding the center set of lugs, which is feeding our home or load. Now, the reason we want and must have a manual transfer switch, or a transfer switch in general, for our application is for the safety of you, your home, and linemen working on the power lines. Without a disconnect switch of this sort between your generator and your home, you run the very grave risk of backfeeding the utility's power lines with your generator. Now, what do I mean by backfeeding? Well, what happens is, without this switch, you're feeding your generator into your main circuit breaker panel. That circuit breaker is then backfeeding through the main lug back to the utility's transformer up on the pole. Your generator is producing about 240 volts AC. When it gets to that transformer at the top of that pole, it's stepped up to about 7,200 volts, and that line that is supposedly dead by the utility worker's knowledge is now hot and poses a very grave risk. This manual or double throw safety switch alleviates that concern and causes you or the lineman no harm. A manual transfer switch needs to be installed by a licensed electrician. If you do not desire to put in a manual transfer switch for your electrical system, you may still use your generator by plugging your appliances directly into the receptacles on your portable generator set. Bear in mind the size of the generator and the loads being supplied. Do not overload your generator, and use the proper size wires or conductors for the application.
Many people choose not to hardwire their standby generator directly into their home's main circuit. Instead, they power select appliances with extension cords. If those appliances are at any distance from your generator, make sure you use a 3-wired cord with a 3-pronged plug, and of course, plug it into a 3-hole receptacle. Generator sizes vary. Common units can be from 8 to 14 horsepower and capable of handling from 4,000 to 8,400 watts, including starting surge requirements. Prices may range from $800 to $3,000. Also remember to determine the wattage output you need before you buy a generator. Manufacturers rate the strength of a generator in terms of wattage. The generator's output wattage should meet or exceed the total wattage of the appliances you will operate in case of an outage. Never exceed the rated capacity of your generator. Overloading can cause serious damage to the generator or appliances. Before operating a generator, list all of the appliances that are going to operate at the same time. Then determine the starting and running wattage requirements. The starting load lasts only a few seconds, but is very important when figuring the total wattage you'll use. Your generator must be rated to handle the total wattage. Always follow the manufacturer's recommendations on how to use your generator. Call your electric utility if you have questions about sizing or using a standby generator. Home generators are usually powered by gasoline, which must be properly handled as well. Operate them only in a well-ventilated area.